Hey, hello. I'm so excited to start our new video. So welcome to our video. So today in this video, I want to discuss about a sector. So last week when I was analyzing stocks, so I saw a common behavior in particular stocks which belongs to a same sector. So I thought if it will be very helpful for us if I share here in YouTube. So it will be a very short term opportunity. Maybe for 6 months to 1 year we'll get a very good opportunity if you enter here in right now, because this is just started now, so market will not speak about these stocks right now. So once it moves like 30 to 20 to 30%, then only market will know, and then in social media there will be a lot of buzz happening. So let's discuss about our today's video. Before diving to our video, just a standard disclaimer. So I want to tell you, so this is my analysis which I might be wrong, so please consult your financial advisor if you want to take any trade. Okay. Just live into our video. Okay, so today I want to talk about a sector called PSU banks. So PSU banks, recently we had very good rally. So but from couple of months, maybe from January, so it is in consolidating mode. So now I can see very good move here. So if you see here, this is Nifty PSU Bank Index. So this is a weekly chart which I can see here. Our signature move, cup and handle formed here, and then nicely it broken the wicks, which is very good sign. So and also I can observe the same cup and handle pattern in most of the stocks belongs to this index. So we are going to discuss all these things in a couple of minutes in this video. So I'm going to discuss about both technical and fundamental analysis, because banks are generally very dangerous to trade into, so we need to analyze more to get into the trade. Okay, so that's why I'm analyzing both technical and fundamentals. Okay, so let's go next. Okay, so this is actually compared to index. I just compared all the performance from couple of years back in couple of years. So if you observe here, actually the candlestick pattern is Nifty PSA Bank Index, and you can clearly see here SBI, Bank of Baroda, and Indian Bank are actually outperforming the index. So similarly in next Chase, Canara Bank, Bank of Maharashtra, UCO Bank is there. So by seeing this, we directly get into the trade? No, we should not go into the trade directly. So let's analyze the things. So actually, observe clearly. This will help you for your analysis. Maybe if you want to analyze any sector, this will be very useful for you as well. So you can clearly know how I'm going to analyze for my trade. Okay, so first thing in my list is Bank of Maharashtra. So why I choose Bank of Maharashtra is, first thing, our signature pattern here, cup and handle formed, and then there is a good move, and I can see the volume as well. While forming the handle, there is a volume is lowering down. Okay, so this, in my first video also I clearly explained how I can pick this cup and handle. Okay, so now when the move is upwards, we can see a good volume also, which is a good sign. So here, where to enter? So for example, here this is a major wicks happening here. So if you can see clearly see the resistance here. So the price is exactly at resistance point. So once it crossed this wick, so we can actually initiate a trade. So my understanding is for a couple of days there will be a consolidating here. After that it'll give a breakout. So if you want, you can actually give some small amount of trade initiation, and then take position with a small amount, and then yeah, we can keep adding. Okay, so And also, I observed in Bank of Maharashtra, you can see the investor pattern. So in June month, actually, both FIS and DIS actually doubled their investments. So previously it was 3.33 for DIS, so now it is 6.73, and then for FIS 0.26, and then they actually made it to 1.21, which is actually really good sign. But unfortunately for other stocks, this parameter is not there. Actually, this data is not available. So only for Bank of Maharashtra we can see this one. Okay. So coming back to fundamentals, because as I mentioned, generally banks itself, we need to consider a lot of things, because any negative news will actually collapse the price in the banks. But and because we are analyzing PSU banks, so compared to private banks, PSU banks are more cyclical than private banks. So because generally PSU is any PSU, so the more government involvement will be there, so there will be like cyclicality in decision making, and also there are a lot of defaults and news we saw before. Okay, so I'll tell you, I will explain you so how default will happen here. I will try to explain, because I cannot explain full length of fundamental analysis on banks here, because the length will be more. So that's why I'll try to explain as much as possible. If you want, let me know. I'll do the separate video for full fundamental analysis on banks, how to do fundamental analysis for banks, both private and PSA banks. Okay, so coming here, so first thing is CASA. So any banks, we CASA book is very important. CASA is nothing but current account and savings account book, so deposit book. So the CASA, so whatever the biggest number, so is good for the bank. So out of this PSU banks, actually Bank of Maharashtra is actually having very good CASA book. So I can see this is the highest, actually 56.08%. And recently, year on year, in their annual report, so they mentioned CASA year on year increased by 6.77, which is really good. And then the NPS is nothing but non-performing assets. So generally, non-performing assets is nothing but defaults. For example, any corporate client took the loan and they are not paying back. So the mortgage asset, they call it as non-performing asset. So when non-performing asset percentage is more, then actually it is more dangerous to take position in that bank. So in this Bank of Maharashtra, actually, if you see here, the net NPA is 0.88%, which is very minimal. It's actually a very good sign. And also retail book and retail and corporate loan book. So loan book, actually for any bank, loan book is actually their income, right? Because they get money from the interest. So loan book, so what high is very good. So generally I prefer retail book should be big compared to corporate loans. Of course, corporate loans, they get more interest, but consistency will have in retail loan book only, because all retailers generally they pay, but corporates have all their logics to not to pay. Okay, so here actually the difference is not much. Retail loan book is 26%, and corporate loan book is 39%. Okay, so which is kind of okay. And then capital adequacy ratio. So capital adequacy ratio, so there is a rule in the government, for example, any bank, if they take deposits from people or companies, so generally they pay very minimal interest for us. So by taking our money, they actually give loans to the corporates and loan and retailers, which is again way, so with high interest, right? So actually, generally, the RBI rule is they should not give all the money to, and in terms of loans, they need to invest some of the percentage um in FDs or government bonds or very secured investments. So this one in terms of bank performance point of view, this one is actually, if it is less, actually it's very good for the bank because they invest in FDs less. So we all know FDs and government bonds, actually it gives very less interest compared to other investments. So if it is like very near to the government norms, so that is actually good. So for this one, actually 16.18 is not bad, actually it's compared to less only. And then net interest margin. So net interest margin, so this is actually the difference between banks, what they're what the interest they are getting. So definitely whatever the highest value, that is good. So here actually 3.28, which is actually good, in because mostly in PSU banks it'll be less than 4 only. Generally in private banks they get more. So you can see like in HDFC Bank, Axis Bank, their net interest margins are more compared to PSU, because PSU will have lot of other limitations. So, and also total deposits. So for total deposits, the change in total deposit, actually this one, so compared to last year, actually they increased by 15.71%, which is really good. And then total advances, so total advances is nothing but the loans given. So actually to the corporates, so they give loans, which we discussed just now. So it is actually increased by 29.49%, which is actually really good. Okay, so because bank will get more interest. And then comparatively branches, so 2029 branches are there for Bank of Maharashtra, so which is decent. Okay. Okay, so second stock in the list is Bank of Baroda. So Bank of Baroda, you all know the bank. I don't need to explain about Bank of Baroda. Okay, coming to our technical things. So Bank of Baroda, actually this is also forming. So this is a weekly chart. Actually, this is also forming our cup and handle. So you can clearly see, the volume is contracting, and now we can see the volume here, which is coming up. And also the good thing is it given the breakout. So you can see that it is actually clearly given the breakout compared to our previous stock, Bank of Maharashtra. Actually, it is actually consolidating there, but it is actually Bank of Baroda clearly gave the breakout, which is actually a very good sign. So if you want to enter, actually we can enter right away, or we can wait for small correction here. Maybe 200 would be the good price to enter, and then we can keep it for like next 6 months to 1 year. Okay, coming back to fundamentals of Bank of Baroda, I think I don't need to explain of each terms now, so we can directly go with the numbers. So CASA book actually 42.25%. Change in CASA is 7.90, which is like high in all the banks. So all PSU banks I compared. So I will share the Excel sheet which I compared and used for my analysis. I will share the link. Actually, it will be very useful for you for your next analysis. Okay, so CASA year on year actually 7.90%, which is high in PSUs. And then NPAs, see here actually gross NPA is 8.11% and 2.83%, which is a negative for negative sign. And then retail loan book and corporate loan book, if you compare here, it is actually 22 and 42. So actually they are maintaining like 50% of corporate loans in retail, and so this is like 22 and 42, so which is like quite of okay. And then capital adequacy ratio, this is they're maintaining 15.25, and then net interest margin is 3.33, which is really good. And then total deposits is increased by 15.1% compared to last year, and total advances also increased by 21% compared to last year. And also branches are very decent, so 8,168 branches are there for Bank of Baroda. So why I'm talking about branches is, so in urban and rural, the number of branches they have, so the number of deposits they will get more. Okay, that's why. And the other bank is SBI. This is like legend in PSU banks. So if you compare like market cap wise and branches wise, so this is the biggest bank. Okay, uh, So SBI actually this is also forming our signature, cup and handle pattern here. So you can see clearly the volume is contracting, and we can see the good volume from last 2 weeks. This is weekly channel, by the way, weekly chat, by the way. Sorry. So here actually similar to Bank of Maharashtra. So this is also actually facing some rejection. So what I'm expecting is there will be some consolidation here. After that it will give the breakout. So once it give breakout, maybe around 600 levels, we can actually initiate the trade, and then we can keep adding if you want. Okay. Maybe. By the way, so stop loss. So for any stop loss, actually the handle low is the stop loss. If it is actually break this low, then this trade is going to fail. Okay. So for any analysis which I show, so the handle low is our stop loss. Okay. Okay, coming back to fundamentals of State Bank of India. So here actually CASA is 45.15. You can see the before two stocks is more than State Bank of India CASA book, and change in CASA is 4.95, which is good. And then gross NPA and net NPA, which is non-performing assets, is like 4.77 and 1.23, which is kind of okay. And retail loan book and corporate loan book is 39 and versus 37. See here. So this is actually very good sign, because corporate retail SB is loan book mostly is retail loans. So they actually reduce a lot of corporate loans here, you can clearly observe. So 37 and 39%. Okay. So maybe because of previous experience, they actually learned a lot, and then now they're maintaining good ratios here, which is really a good sign. And then capital adequacy ratio is like 14.15, which is less compared to Bank of Baroda, right? So which is good. So they actually in doing their investment in right way. And net interest margin, actually they are getting very good interest margins compared to all PSUs, 3.334. So in my analysis, actually this is the highest interest margin compared to other PSU banks. So, and then next one is total deposits actually increased by 8.5%, which is very less. And then total advances, so their loans given is 15.99, so which is really good. See the branches. This is like a giant, 71,968 branches across India. So next one is UCO Bank. So UCO Bank. So this one, let me tell you something. So actually why I selected this stock. So this stock actually was in downtrend for a couple of months. So this one recently broke their recent low, and then actually formed a cup and handle, and then we can see the clearly volumes also supporting. So, and also fundamental, I'll explain you. So it's actually improving fundamentally. So this is actually one stock for if you are a risk taker, actually you can initiate a trade here. So this is really good opportunity if you are a risk taker. But yeah, remember one thing: keep a strict stop loss here, maybe around 25. So once it broke down this handle, then actually we need to exit from this stock. Okay. Coming back to fundamentals, so CASA book actually 38.91, so which is good. And then change in CASA, say, so they're actually improving. So 3.87% they increased. And then the gross NPA, net NPA, so 9.8 and 2.97, which is a red flag here. And then this is actually interesting. So retail loan book and corporate loan book, they're maintaining like very equally. So 26 versus 26. And then capital adequacy ratio is 12.8, sorry, 12.08, which is really good. And then net interest margin is 2.87. Yeah, not bad. So total deposits is increased by 10.5% compared to last year, and total advances, which is like loans given, so that is actually increased by 20%. The total branches is 3,100, which is very decent. Okay. Next bank is Indian Bank. So Indian Bank, you can see Indian Bank. This is a monthly chart. So this is clearly did a breakout. So a couple of months back, and then it consolidated. Now actually it is again forming. Volumes are increasing, and then it is forming higher highs. So which is good. So actually, so this one also we can initiate a trade here. So again, targets will be based on the uh, cup size here. So because actually I'm talking about short-term opportunity for next 1 year, that's why I'm not talking about any target prices. But the stop loss will be around this level. Okay, so it will be around 250 levels. Actually, if it breaks 250, then actually we should be out of this trade. Coming back to fundamentals. So CASA book is 42.2%, which is good, and change in CASA is like 5%, which is really good. But actually, NPA non-performing assets is gross is 9.13, and net is 2.72. This is actually a red flag. So this is big. And then retail and versus corporate loans. So this is also a red flag. So the retail loan book is only 80% compared to corporate loans is like 44%, which is big. So so big corporate loans is like huge risk to be get default, right? So that's why. Okay, capital adequacy ratio is like 15.47, which is okay, high. And then net interest margin is 3.03, really good. And then total deposits increased by 5%, total advances are increased by 14%, so total branches are 900. So this is kind of okay. So compared to previous banks which we discussed right now. So if you want to take only position for like three or two, then we can actually avoid this Indian bank. But if you want to do some kind of SIP investment, so then actually we can also add this Indian bank as well. So next one is Canara Bank. So Canara Bank actually compared to index, it little bit underperformed. So but I don't follow fundamental completely and blindly, because I'm mostly into technical analysis. So here actually it is clearly forming the cup and handle, and it did a breakout, so which is actually good sign for me, because in any time, so if you observe, fundamentals follows technical. So first technical gives the confirmation, and then fundamental gives the confirmation. So here what we need to do, so Canara Bank, actually we can go with the technical first, and then in next quarter actually we need to observe fundamentally. So if fundamentally, if it is giving our confirmation, then actually we can keep the trade or we can book the profit. Okay, so coming back to fundamentals, so as I mentioned, CASA book 33.48, which is low, and then CASA year on year actually negative. So this is actually year on year compared to 2022, 2023. So this is actually a little bit negative, and NPS also really high, 7.46 gross and 2.64 net. And retail loan book is 17%, and corporate loan book is 43%, which is again a red flag. Capital adequacy ratio is 13.69, not bad. Net interest margin is 2.8, which is low compared to other PSU banks. And then total deposits increased by 8.54%, is decent. And total advances increased by 16.441%, okay. And also branches, it's like 10,500 branches. This is also a very big bank, okay. But fundamentally I can say it's not okay, but technically it is giving a positive signal. So finally, what I'm going to tell you is, so this Excel sheet which I used to analyze all the stock analysis, so I'll share this link in the description below actually, so you can go through with it and then see how I analyze technically and fundamentally, and then filter out all these stocks from the list of PSU banks. Okay, so if you have any doubts, please ask in the comments below. Okay, so uh, that's what I want to discuss in this video. So coming back to our first video, actually I shared some of the stocks. So let's see how they performed. So out of I shared like 6 stocks in my first video. So which is this one, future multibagger stocks. So out of the 6, so you can see the bug fertilizers, and then MGL and Jamna Auto performed really well. So Jamna Auto given like 9.229%, and MGL 4%, actually near to 5%. Deepak Fertilizer is 8.6%. But Adani is not started yet, and Concord also is no profit, no gain, and Dwarakesh Sugar is also is like no profit, no gain area, but nothing is hit the stop loss. So I'm still holding all these things. If you want actually, if you didn't see my first video, you can actually go to my channel and then look into this video. Still these trades are still on, so we can actually still take the trades here. All right, so that is what I want to discuss in my video. So if you like the video, please hit the like button. So if you want to join my journey, then please subscribe, and if you have any doubts or any suggestions for my video, please do comment below. So if you like the content, please share. Yeah, so this is what I want to share. Okay, great, thank you so much. Bye bye.